Welcome into Gamesthetic, episode 95. Hopefully you're having an incredible day today, whatever day you are listening or perhaps watching this podcast over our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Sparky3. Give us a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, be a friend, tell a friend. Got the boys in here with me. Zach is back. Zach, how you doing? How you feeling? Kind of a bummer you missed last week. Last week was pretty fun. Missed you, man.
I don't know. I was starting looking at your Xbox games over there, and I went, why am I even doing this? Why is it just Halo and then just Sonic? And then
Leave that alone.
Then that Alan Wake you will never play.
That's Jimmy's Alan Wake.
Which you'll never play.
Nope. Never gonna touch that.
You're not going to play the remake either.
I will play the remake.
You're not going to play the remake.
I will play the remake. It's just a matter of time. Also have John. John, how you doing? How you feeling?
You're never going to play the remake.
Yes! Fucking god damn it. I'm gonna play the remake, okay? I hate both of you. You're both the worst.
You know, I saw Jimmy the other day and told him about that, and he went, yeah, he's never going to play it.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck you, Jimmy. I'm gonna play the game, damn it. I hate all of you.
Actually, his actual reaction was like, he still has my Alan Wake.
That's an accurate response. Yeah, I'm not surprised that he forgot about that. That was a very long time ago when he gave me that. Also, shout out to the Josh Pillow. No Jared this week, so Jared had something pop up, so no Jared this week, but he's also not going to be here next week. Next week was his on-call week. That's just going to be a normal thing where he'll be here for a couple episodes and then have to miss just for work. So, tease and paste, Jared had something pop up, and we'll see you in a couple weeks, hopefully. With that said, we can start doing
When did you start saying T's and P's?
He's always said that.
I've always said that, John. You are very late to the party on that one.
You've never said it around me until like...
Yes, I have. I've said that a lot.
I've never heard you say that until like last week.
I think it's just last week when you finally
focused in. I think you've just never had an occasion to really say it around me.
I don't know, man. That's a common thing that I say all the time.
I was about to say, he's literally been saying that for years.
Yeah, that's been a long time thing for me. Well, first and foremost, if you could, check out the link below for some Rogue Energy. Pick up some Rogue with our referral link. Use promo code SPARKY3 to get 10% off your order. We definitely appreciate that. And also shout out two new things here. We got a new sponsorship. They reached out to us, which is pretty cool. And a new partnership. Excited for both those. First and foremost, check out some Swift grips. Link down in the description below. Get the best gaming grips on the market. Super cheap. Use promo code GameStead to get 10% off your order. We definitely appreciate that. As well as our new partnership with Red Dragon. If you're looking to get some new stuff for your computer, keyboard, mouse, speakers, headphones, whatever, check out the referral link down below. Use promo code GameStead as well to get 10% off your order. Support the boys. We definitely appreciate that. Join the Discord as well. Follow us over at Twitter at GameSteadicPod and sign up to the website, sparky3.com. You sign up for free or sign up for $5 a month. With that said, I think that's it. Merch store as well. Buy some merch. Sparky3shop.com. Everything's on the website. Just go to the website. You'll find everything on the website.
Do we got a promo code going right now?
For the merch store?
Yeah.
We haven't had tech problems, so no.
Okay, cool.
Actually, technically, we did have a tech problem. I just didn't announce it to the world because it wasn't a big deal. So, last week's Gamesthetic cut audio about 10 minutes in. Yeah, but it wasn't a big deal because I just had the audio from the mixer. But on the video, and I did notice it in the podcast, like while we were in the middle of recording, but I didn't do anything about it because like I figured it was going to be fine because every once in a while, like when we were in the old room, I would see it happen where like I see the audio just kind of get stuck where it just comes up to a point and just stays there.
Yeah.
But then usually when I've noticed that before, like the audio is still fine and it's just like just a quick little glitch. But no, I did notice it last week and sure as shit, it just cut audio for the whole episode. So, but I do think I know what the problem was for why I did that, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, so I mean, I guess I could put up a promo code for some merch. Promo code TechProbs needs to strike again. TechProbs are a normal thing here with Sparky3, of course. I guess we can go ahead and jump into some stuff. We got some things to ramble on about this week for sure. I like how all my inputs are here on Discord for when I was switching cameras. Yeah, as I was switching through, it was typing in Discord.
Oh, okay.
All my inputs. All right, let's kick things off with a new thing announced from Sony this week. PlayStation Stars. This one kind of came out of nowhere. We hadn't really heard anything about like this coming out of the woodworks here. Basically, a new loyalty program for PlayStation users. It's going to be free to join. You can get rewards by completing campaigns, activities, trophies, etc. So it's basically super easy to get those rewards. Loyalty points can be redeemed for your PlayStation Network, wallet funds, etc. It's launching later this year. So essentially, this is like PlayStation, not PlayStation. This is like Microsoft Rewards, where you bought a game here recently. What'd you get recently again? Was it like Far Cry or something? I don't remember.
Yeah, Far Cry 6.
Yeah. By the way, how is that?
It's a Far Cry game.
All right, cool.
The reviews for it were spot on. It's a Far Cry game.
All right, that's all I need to know. But yeah, no, this kind of popped out of nowhere, and you know, I feel like it's kind of interesting that it popped out because like Microsoft Rewards is something I feel like a lot of people forget about. Because didn't you say that you forgot about it, and you're just like, oh, cool, I can do this.
Yeah, no, I forgot about it because you get points and stuff from just like playing Xbox Game Pass games every day. You get like 5 points
Right.
for doing that every day, plus other missions and whatnot. And from purchasing things to a point I forgot about it. I didn't even realize it was a thing until I finally looked at it, and I had enough points worth $100 worth of credit, and I went,
Oh,
oh
shit.
well, fuck, okay.
I might need to check that.
Yeah, you know what? You saying that, I might need to check mine as well. God knows what it's at.
Well, I didn't know it was a thing, but I guess if you just passively get points for playing it, then probably need to check that because I've been playing a lot of Game Pass in the last like year.
Yeah, no, there's just like specific games like periodically, weekly, and monthly that if you do stuff or whatnot, you'll get points. If you get achievements on games that are in Game Pass, just playing a game that's on Game Pass.
Oh, fun thing I've noticed from playing a lot of games on Game Pass, not to distract too much from the new Sony thing, is the achievements pop at random times. Like, I was playing I've started playing Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yes.
And been playing it some. And then like I'll be at work and I forgot I've signed into my Xbox account on like the Xbox app there because occasionally I just check like the new games on Game Pass when they come out, see what's there. And the achievements will just start popping while I'm at work from when I played like over the weekend.
That's funny.
Just specifically from Yakuza or from just Game Pass games in general?
In general.
Oh, okay.
Like achievements won't pop and I'll just be sitting there like working and achievements will start popping up.
You know, that I've noticed that as well. Like literally just sitting in here, playing an Xbox game, whatever, I'll get an achievement and they'll be like 30, 40 minutes later. I just hear the ding again, but then I look over at my computer and it's popped over the side. I'm like, well, that's kind of delayed.
I guess I don't have that problem on mine. It's almost back to back.
Oh, okay.
But going back to the PlayStation thing, I mean, if it's going to be similar to like how the Microsoft Awards is, that'll be a very nice thing, especially for people who are very much PlayStation is their console of choice. Because as we just stated with the Microsoft Awards thing, you just get points for just doing normal crap you're doing every day and then buying games and movies and whatnot that is on a theme. So if PlayStation does that similarly, I mean, that's a nice just perk for people who are already on their PlayStations a lot, since it's a free sign-up thing. So
Yeah, my big thing that I'd be curious about is like, you know, is it going to be as straightforward as just simply just playing the games? You know what I mean? Because obviously just simply doing campaigns, activities, trophies, like that's all pretty easy stuff. But like, are you going to get so many points per like, I mean, how is it for Microsoft? Just like how many minutes played, I guess?
no, it's based on, like as I said, for just starting a Game Pass game, you get 5 points. You don't
Okay.
get any more for playing that game specifically.
Okay.
I mean, they more or less have like missions and stuff that if you do this in this game or do this specific thing in so many different Game Pass games, you get 100, 300 points, something or another.
Right. Okay, yeah. So basically, whenever you just launch, because I always see that it's like daily quest, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always see that pop up. So, all right. So, yeah, I would imagine it'd probably be the same thing. And then also just kind of curious, like how much everything would, like how quickly would you be able to gather stuff up? Because I know it's not supposed to be quick. You know what I mean?
No.
I get that. I'm fully aware that it's not supposed to. So I'm just wondering if it's going to be like in the same sort of structure as Microsoft to allow people to buy new games. Because like, you know, us even talking about this, I would have zero doubt in my mind that someone listening would be like, oh fuck, I should probably go look at my Microsoft Awards. You know, like I forgot about that thing. It's just like an afterthought for people. So signing up for free is just going to make it super easy.
And
you
then
know,
for the
potentially get
Microsoft
games later.
Rewards thing, it's just if you have a Xbox account, you're already part of it. You didn't have to sign up for anything. So there's probably quite a few people who don't even know it's a thing.
Yeah, actually, I do need to log into mine. I'm curious. Yours is you definitely need to more than me. You've done more Game Pass than me.
Yeah. But yeah, with the Sony one, I wonder if like since they're just launching it, if they'll have like a little more to it initially, like other than just like log in. It's like log in and play games or something. If I wonder if like they'll have like some game specific ones, or if they'll just have generic ones where it's like it doesn't matter what game you're playing, just like play a game for so long, play a game, like earn trophies in a game or something like that, as like an initial kind of boost towards it.
Mm-hmm.
See, I would hope in sort of that same frame that, seeing as they are launching this as a thing, that they bring more attention to it than like Microsoft has, because it's been a thing for a long time, but it was sort of very hard overshadowed by Game Pass, because Game Pass, everyone was just like, oh, games.
Exactly.
Where they're actually trying to promote it as like an actual reward system. So I would hope like with the launch of it and everything, they might maybe do a week or two or like a opening of the program to give some better incentives. Like if you do something, get like bonus points to allow you to actually rack up at least a moderate amount of points during that initial release week of it.
Because what got me thinking about that is the way Ubisoft has done their games previously, where just playing the game, like doing challenge and stuff in the games would earn you points towards their stores, where you could buy like cosmetics or things like that for the specific games. So I don't know if they do something along those lines, but probably make it a little more generic as opposed to game specific.
Yeah.
And also with what you were saying, Zach, that makes me think, I wonder, because all they said was launching later this year. I wonder if they had launched alongside like a big release like God of War, for example.
I mean, I don't see why not.
Right. You know, if it's going to be later this year, like they're saying.
I mean, might as well.
Yeah.
If you're gonna launch it, why not throw it out there around the time when, like, you're gonna be getting more attention than usual?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a lot of people use PlayStation as a primary console anyway, but why not tie it at least within like the week span of, say, God of War, because you're gonna get a significant number of more people on PlayStation just to play that.
True. No, pretty excited to see more about this as we get more information. Because, like I said, this did just kind of come out of left field, in my opinion. Like, we haven't heard anything about like this kind of coming out, but it didn't necessarily surprise me. You know, Sony kind of releasing this to kind of compete alongside Microsoft Awards. Because I mean they already obviously doing the big PlayStation Plus revamp in their mind to compete with Game Pass. Again, I air quotes here, in their mind. Because it just didn't have those day one releases. That's why Game Pass, you can't compare the two. You know what I mean? But now with this, you can definitely compare this to Microsoft Awards. Well, assuming, once we see more, of course, we'll know how directly you can compare the two.
And I'd also be curious to see so it says you can get money for your PS Wallet and whatnot through using the points and whatnot. I wonder what other things you do. Because like in the Microsoft Awards, you can get bi-month subscriptions to Game Pass or Gold and things like that. You can buy gift cards with them and whatnot.
I would imagine they would probably do the same.
I would assume so, but you never know.
Yeah, be able to pay for your new PlayStation Plus system, whatever.
Yes.
I'd imagine probably be the same thing. I'd be shocked if it wasn't. That just makes too much sense.
I mean, I'd be shocked as well, but
yeah. But who knows? Sony. Who knows what they're gonna do, right?
Well, Sony's more consistent than Nintendo.
That's true.
I'd say one thing, because you mentioned you guys were mentioning the PS Plus revamp that they did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just me, but I got on my PlayStation the other day, or even on the website, trying to navigate to where the new monthly games are for PlayStation has become much more difficult, it seems, because you used to just go to the PlayStation Plus page, and the two or three games would be right there. Now you have to go there and navigate down to a different one to find your tier of it, and then you can find the games there.
Okay.
I don't know, because I used to just be able to log into the website, find it real quick, and be like, okay, yeah, add to library. I don't know. It could just be me, but I was struggling to find it the other day when I was looking.
Okay, see, whenever the PlayStation Plus revamp came out, I talked about the layout because everyone just unanimously hated it because of what you're saying. I was on my lone island. I actually liked the layout. I don't know, it just made sense for my brain.
Well, it was
just I do see what people could be saying about how it's tough to navigate.
Just the fact that it seemed to change not necessarily significantly, but everything just moved around.
Right.
And I was looking through it going, how the hell do I get to this now? Because like I said, it's like on the PlayStation, it's a little bit easier, but on their webpage, like it'll show you the games, like it'll be like in the banner, but actually finding them on the website where I used to, like I said, because I used to just add them to library on the website. It was super quick to do, and it was a little bit of a pain to figure it out the first time.
Right. Also, shout out, we did get the list for games coming out for this month for PlayStation Plus. You know, obviously we already knew Stray was dropping.
I'm sorry, I was distracted by last week's announcement of Pokemon Puzzle League. So.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, shout out to Puzzle League. Shout out to Puzzle League. Look, if you didn't play Puzzle League when it came out, you don't understand. Okay, that's just the bottom line. I've seen so many people online that never played it when it came out. It's just like, what the fuck is this game? It's like, look, if you didn't play it when it came out, you don't understand. Okay, but no, shout out to the games that was announced for this month for PlayStation Plus. We already knew Stray was dropping day one. Final Fantasy VII Intergrade. Looking forward to that because I was actually looking at buying it here recently, so now I can just do that. Lots of Assassin's Creed games, which goes into that Ubisoft partnership with PlayStation Plus. But yeah, lots of Assassin's Creed games. The one that caught my eye the most, because I've talked to you that I would really like to play it, is the Rogue remasters.
Yeah.
Coming. So that caught my eye. I thought that was pretty dope.
Ubisoft's just trying to put it all on there so they can start doing their live service Assassin's Creed.
Well, that's still ways away. Yeah, that's still ways away from what we've understood. But speaking of that though, the Assassin's Creed that's apparently set to come out this year is called Rift, and it's gonna be based in Baghdad.
Okay.
Yeah, that's per Jason Schreier. I saw that earlier. Which if that's gonna get revealed, it'll be at like the Ubisoft Forward on like September 10th, I think is what it was. So we'll keep an eye out for that as well. I will say a couple things that did pop out with all the new games coming out for PlayStation Plus is there was 3 games that got added to the blog post for the Italian PlayStation Plus thing, but then immediately removed, and it was like Dino Crisis, Ridge Racer 2, and then Soul Calibur Broken Destiny.
Oh, that's
all PSP games. So, but then they immediately changed it and revoked it. So that from the post. So that does tell me though that those are at least coming, which would be pretty cool. Broken Destiny was one that I never really got to play. So that actually, and then Dino Crisis, a lot of people, it has its fandom, it has its cult following. So
we can go buy one real quick if you want to play it.
What, Dino Crisis?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not part of that cult following. I'm just saying there is a cult following.
But you could join it.
I could join the cult following. Yeah, just like that cult following got so like dick teased earlier this year with Exoprimal, where it's like, is this Dino Crisis? Is this Dino Crisis? It's like Exoprimal. It's like, what the fuck is Exoprimal?
I still don't know what Exoprimal is. I mean, I'll probably play it, but I'm still confused what it is.
That's fair. I think that's a lot of people right now. Anyway, let's hop over to the next thing. God of War, all of its different editions. We got info for that this week. A little bit of controversy behind it, but like the controversy behind it, it's like John mentioned this before we started recording. They've been doing this for years. It's still annoying. Don't get me wrong. Like they've been doing it for years, but it is still annoying, at least for me. I like my physical games. I'm a physical game guy. But let's kick things off with just standard edition. So there is a $10 upgrade path from PS4 to PS5, which is dope because Sony. They initially were going to try to back out on that after with Horizon, even though they initially said like last year they were going to. Then there was that whole debacle because I think me and you, we had to re-record an episode because of that. Yeah, we had to re-record an entire episode because like our information was wrong by like 2 hours. They're just like, hey, this is what we're going to do going forward. And basically it felt like at that time they set the hard line like, hey, it's going to be $70, $60, get the fuck over it. So I don't know if because God of War was initially supposed to come out last year that they're kind of still honoring that mindset of the $10 upgrade. That's my guess. I'm not sure. But then we do have the collector's edition that's priced at $200. Digital code for the game, and that's where the controversy comes in. No physical copy, but of course comes with a steelbook, which irritates a lot of people. That even irritates myself because I've mentioned this before. It kind of goes like with the Nintendo pre-orders for Sword and Shield through their website. Got the coolest fucking steelbooks for Sword and Shield because the other steelbook that you could have got was from Target. It was like a gold one with both the dogs on front and back, but like the one from Nintendo was like more so like the case and colors of the red and the blue, and you got they were so much cooler, but it was digital, and it just that bugs the shit out of me that you get the steelbook but no physical game. But that's just me. You get some twin carvings of some stuff, so dice set, Millenary replica, and multiple digital items for the game. That's for the collector's edition. The Yotenar edition, $260. It has everything the collector's has, plus a vinyl record, which that's actually kind of cool. A pin set representing Freya, Kratos, and Atreus. It's got a ring, another dice set. So you basically get 2 dice set with this whole thing. And I never know how to pronounce this. Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil.
Yeah, just whatever he said. Cloth map. So I mean, I will say the collector's edition, like both editions look cool, mostly because like the hammer, Mjolnir looks really dope. Like I'm here for that. But like, dude, the no physical game kills me personally, and that's the kind of the same reaction that I've seen online. I know you two have kind of mostly you have become more digital players. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Besides, like, oh, well, they've just been doing it for years. Like, besides that, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, it honestly doesn't bother me, not just because I'm a digital person, just because I mean, if I'm gonna buy a collector's edition, at least always for me. Yes, I'm getting the game. Awesome. I'm buying the collector's edition for the extra loot.
Fair.
So now I have a fancy still case where I can show that off, and if I really want to put something in there, I can put something fucking random in there just to throw people off.
That is something you would do, yeah.
And I mean, because like I got the what was it? Arkham. What was the third Arkham game? Was it Arkham? It wasn't Arkham Knight.
Arkham. Was that the Arkham City?
No, because it was after Arkham City. It's the one that they had.
It was Arkham Knight then, wasn't it? Because like the first one was Arkham Asylum, then City, and then Knight, right?
Well, there was one in between Knight and City, which I can't remember at the moment because
Asylum was one. There's only 3, right?
There's 4.
Oh shit! All right, then,
That's the thing.
Okay,
That's the thing because there was a third one that got made because something happened to production and Knight was going to be further, so they threw this one together, which was more or less like a prequel thing, introduction to. It was the one that had I can't even remember his name because he was pointless in the end of that story. But more or less, I bought that, and I mostly just got it for the extra stuff, like the Joker statue I have, some just prints and whatnot, because there's a bunch of wanted posters of the characters who were trying to kill Batman during that night.
Gotcha.
And that's how I always felt about like collector's edition, because I got collector's edition of Tekken 7 too, and I got mostly for the Kazuya and Heihachi statue, which is badass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've mostly gone digital with everything. Occasionally, I'll buy a physical copy of a game. But I mean, I can kind of see where people get irritated. They're like, if I'm getting the case, I want the game with it. But people collect steelbooks not for the game itself. It's because they want to put the steelbooks on the shelf. And if it's like they just want it there to kind of show it off, I feel. Because otherwise, what's wrong with a regular case? You don't need that. The only thing you really want the steelbook for is to have it on the shelf because it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the problem with not having a game inside of it. It's like I don't know. I've moved away from physical copies of games, and I'm still kind of baffled by the people that want the physical copies of them. I understand people want them and people like having them, but at the same time, I mean, especially like even the industry is kind of seeing people are moving more digital with everything, with the different subscription services we have now, like Game Pass, the new PlayStation Plus, and everything, and the fact that we actually have digital edition only consoles. It's like that's kind of the way things are trending right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. For me, I can kind of understand it, but at the same time, I feel like it's being blown way out of proportion.
Because I gotta now ask Alex, because I just know him. Is there anything in those 2 steelbooks?
Yep. Every steelbook you see, there's a game in it.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
Did you buy an additional game just to have the game in the steelbook?
Negative.
Yeah, no, those were games old enough that they would have came with the game as well.
I just didn't know what was up there.
Yeah.
Mass Effect 2 and 3 steelbook, the Naruto Storm Legacy, which, at one point I was just about to like trade that in because I knew I'd never played again. Then I looked at like the full box again. I'm like, this is actually really cool. I'm not going to get rid of this. I have Avengers steelbook as well as Guardians of the Galaxy steelbook. All have games.
But, I mean, this is a thing we should have known was coming because like like a generation ago in the 360 and PS3 into the 1 and PS4 era, there was always that talk about, well, digital's the thing, and that's what we're going to go to. And we had that initial hiccup with the move over to PS4 and Xbox One, but as that cycle continued, a lot of people have been leaning more to digital. So it was a conversation even way back then that we knew was eventually going to happen.
Yep.
Well, it's like I kind of remember back to like I don't actually go to like GameStops anymore because I don't buy my games physical. But 3-4 years ago, like the last time I did actually go pick up a game from a GameStop that I had like pre-ordered, it's like I walk in and it's like they have a stack of steelbooks there because people didn't. It's like people were coming and like picking up their games and stuff and just leaving the steelbooks behind because they were like, I've got the digital code for it. What do I need that for?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't know. I feel like people are blowing it way out of proportion.
I see both sides. You know, like I see your point, Zach, of where it's like, if I'm buying this, I'm buying it for all the cool shit.
Yeah.
See that side 100%. Look at me. I almost bought the $250 edition of fucking Jump Force because I wanted that statue. So, and
You dodged a bullet on that one.
yes, I did. Yes, I did. I dodged a massive bullet. Still bought like the second highest edition though at the time. Well, I don't remember what it was. It was like $100. So I still got hit with a bullet, but not as bad of a bullet. But then I also see your side where it's just like, you know, if you're, you know, people want the steel, if they're going to get the steel book, they're just going to put it up on display. Like I have, you know, granted, again, mine have games in it, but I have, you know, 5 steel books on display. I know 3 of them, you know, 2 of them you can't see because it's behind the chair right now, but they are on, you know, on display right now. So like I see your point as well, where it is kind of being blown out of proportion. But you know, and I will also say like another, you know, thing that ties into it is what you're talking about with the digital age that we're in. You know, if they would include these with the game, they would essentially have to include the game twice.
Yeah, so you have to pay for the game twice.
Yeah, because there's the all digital console. So if digital console users wanted to buy one of these editions, they would also get a disc version. So I do get that, you know, where it's just like cuts it out, where it's just like you don't have to make, you know, package multiple editions of the game. So I do get it. You know, I get both sides completely.
Well, the thing I look at is kind of like you said, the $200 edition. Nobody's buying the $200 edition for the steelbook. They're buying it for the
They want the hammer.
They want the Mjolnir replica.
Yeah, they want the hammer.
And it's like, and if you're going to the 260 version, you just want to have all of the collectible stuff with it.
You just
It's
love
like-
this game
it's
and you
like-
want everything.
It's
Yeah.
like you're buying the edition because you want the other stuff with it, and you're finding the one thing to complain about with it,
Yeah.
and complaining about it.
Right. And also, the thing that ties into this as well is there are still just so many people that are still just afraid of that digital future. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's plenty of reason to have concerns with the all digital future until certain things are kind of set up in place, because like there's so many people that, you know, have like these large library of games, and there's like the things that create fear in them about it is like some of the hiccups that we've actually seen recently. There's been some stuff in the news recently that I just haven't put on the script, but it has popped out recently, whether if it was with games or even with movies. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet, but it was like within the last couple weeks up and kind of popping out. Like, let's start with the movies one. There was the one particular studio, and they had so many different movies, whatever. I know one joke was involving. It's just like, look, they're doing you a favor. They're taking Ben Affleck's Daredevil out of your library. But like that's how it was set up. Is like with these movies, they like even if you purchased it, it would literally get removed from the library. And it was the same thing with some games too, because there was a potential hiccup there where one of the random offshoots of Assassin's Creed.
It was Assassin's Creed Liberation.
That's what it was.
As
was going
of-
to get removed potentially.
Well, at the time when it was announced, it was after this date, it is gone.
Yep.
Even if you had purchased it, it was no longer replayable.
Right.
And yeah, because that came out right after the Steam Summer Sale ended.
Yeah. And then, you know, and you know, the thing is, like, those little things, you know, concern people because you know, it's just like the mindset goes, well, how much further is that going to go? How much further is it going to stretch? Because I mean, let's be real. Yes, it sucks to get something ripped out of your library that you paid for, but how often are you going back to watch Daredevil? Like, let's be real. Like, it's not like it's, you know, the latest Avengers movie. You know what I mean? You know, it's random ones. It's like that. You know, that's a lower end Assassin's Creed game. It's not like it's Valhalla or Black Flag, you know, or something like. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, you know, how many people are actually going back to replay this? And there was the other thing that I saw here recently involving this all digital future is that, you know, as time goes on, you know, I still go back and play old games. You guys still go back and play old games. Like, there's also that concern there because an example, and look, I get it, guys. Like, you know, and I fully understand like the counterpoint that everyone made online about this because it's just like, oh, well, that's an older generation. Who gives, you know, of course it's like that. Was the Wii Shop. The Wii Shop was down for like literally 4 months straight. And it's just like Nintendo, it's like, we'll get to it. And it's not like you can buy anything. It's only still up for people to re-download their games.
Yeah.
That's it. It just recently got put back up, like I think like 2 weeks ago. So I think that's where it also comes into play, is that there's still so many people really concerned for that all digital future, because we're about to be there. Like next generation of consoles, like however many years from now that's going to be, I would be shocked if there was a disc version of the consoles.
I mean, and that is a real worry because I mean, with the all digital thing, just because me big with it being collecting and whatnot is
Right.
just older generations are going to be more or less phased out if you are just doing all digital, because at some point those marketplaces are going to be either download only, not going to be able to purchase, or they're just going to be straight down. So your whole library that needs like an online service or whatnot may not be able to access because that service is gone now.
Yep. And that's why we can just only hope that, those purchases can, especially now that we are right on the front door of this all digital future, like hopefully now we can start like really transitioning this library, up to future consoles, like part of your account, part of whatever cloud, you know what I mean? Where it doesn't just get left behind, because it's also kind of like what I talked about when Strikers came out. Like, you pick up Strikers, charge for the Switch 10 years from now, like what you have on that cartridge is going to be a bare ass bones game that's going to have nothing to really do on it because all the content was digital that came out later. And then, like, that sucks. And so that's where it's just multiple, like, it's nothing, like, in my opinion, like horribly groundbreaking, because nothing horribly groundbreaking has been affected. Again, it's like one random offshoot Assassin's Creed game. It's not like it's Black Flag or anything, like one of the most notable ones. You know what I mean?
Liberation's actually pretty good.
Okay, well,
Yeah. I guess, like, my view on it is probably more jaded than most. When I say like from what I was saying, because I already had accepted the fact that
we're
going
there.
going all digital, like, because I adapted to it, like I said, years ago, and it was like, even like 5 years ago was like, it's a rare occasion for me to buy a physical game. And as soon as I decided, you know what, I'm going all digital with everything, I already accepted the fact that, yeah, if this service shuts down, or if some of these things go offline, I'm going to lose access to them. There's nothing I can do about that. But I still chose that. And it's like, in my head, I was like, it is what it is. I mean, granted, hopefully, like you were saying, that stuff just, a lot of it over time gets ported into the newer generations, or it's ported in where it's account based and still is on newer servers so that you can still access it. But like I said, I kind of hit that acceptance button where I'm like, if it doesn't happen, I'll just lose it. That's money gone for me. But at the same time, when I buy it, like, if I play through it, if I'm gonna go back to it, if I go back to it, great. If I try to go back to it and it's not there, it is what it is. But that's just my stance on it. And like I said, probably a little more jaded than most people's is gonna be. But I kind of wanted to just mention that, because most people are not going to have the same view set that I do towards everything.
Right.
At least on this subject.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Most people are going to kind of be like in one of y'all's camps.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas me, I'm kind of, I mean, if you want the game physical, that's great. Get you a physical copy.
Right.
I understand people's frustrations with it, but I mean, everything's leaning digital. We're getting closer and closer.
Yeah, it is. And, when it comes to that all digital future, like, for me personally, I've already accepted that it's coming, because, like, especially since, like, we have been doing this video game podcast, like, my mind has opened up to so many various things because we talk about it all the time, So, like, I've fully accepted that it's coming, and I'm going to have to fully embrace it. But, like, while I still can, I still want to just, like, be part of that physical media culture. Like, that's just what I am. But once the time comes and that's no longer a thing, whatever, because I still love fucking video games, and that new game coming out looks dope, and I'm gonna buy it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna fully embrace it when I have to.
And
but
I'm gonna keep trying to make that happen quicker.
I'm gonna drag it on.
I'm gonna keep pushing the digital on you.
I'm gonna drag it out for as long as I can. Let me say this: the only time that I am hard set on digital is if it's something I absolutely absolutely have to play immediately. So like Mass Effect Legendary Edition is a great example, and Horizon Forbidden West, those are both digital for me because like I got those earlier. You know, I got those at like what 11 o'clock our time, I think,
Yeah.
and I wasn't gonna be able to get it till like 10 or 11 the next day when a store opened.
Dude,
So,
that's like the last physical game I bought. I ordered it was the Pokemon Sword. Ordered it. Supposed to come in like 8 a.m. the day that it came out.
right.
Didn't get it for like 2 days.
I feel that.
That's when you gave me your copy.
I feel that 'cause that's what happened with my Diamond and Pearl. My Diamond and Pearl, you know, didn't come in for like 4 days into my vacation.
And I'm pretty sure I had said to you at that time, I was like, "This is the last game I'm ever buying physically."
I think you did, yeah.
It's like I could have bought this game and downloaded it last night.
Exactly. I will say for Pokemon, that would be an example of one where it's like I want it immediately, but I'm based on how my PTO is, I'm gonna have to work that day the game comes out, so I'll just pick it up while I'm at work. I don't care. You know what I mean? If I was gonna be able to be off the day that it was coming out, then I probably would have very much gotten it, gotten it digitally, just so I can play it immediately that night. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna I have to work the day it comes out. But then I'm off. You know, I'll be off after that, so it's all good. But were you gonna say? I think I cut you off. I apologize.
I mean, you're good. I mean, I was just thinking about the whole thing of things fading out, like live service games. Like,
Yeah, true.
one of my favorite games that completely the servers are dead now, Evolved.
Oh yeah.
It's like, if anyone picked that up now, not knowing what it is, all they have is the base characters and whatnot, and the only way they could really fully experience all of that game that came out is if they found someone like me who has all that data on their account or on a separate drive and could be like, here.
Yeah, take it. Here you go.
And which there is some communities out there for people like that, because like
Right.
there's a couple forum sites where the people actually save those update files and whatnot for people to download and access onto a drive to be able to update their games, in which those people are fucking heroes. Until a company finds out and shuts that down because
Rip.
that's their property. But I mean, it's stuff like that. Like some games that are really fun and whatnot that were live service, they're just dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that and that's just the future that we're going to. Another really, really random game, and let me stress this. I get it. It is nowhere on the same level as like a live service game that you just said. But one that always pops in my mind when it comes to that sort of situation is Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2. Like that one always pops into my mind because like if anyone buys that game for Xbox, you literally cannot play it. Like
Nope.
it's unplayable because for some reason for that game, you had to be connected to Xbox Live to even play the offline mode. I don't know why, but that's just how the game was built. So like once they killed the Xbox servers, the original that's when the GameCube version of that game shot up in price. Because obviously GameCube is not naturally meant to go online like the Xbox was. I did see someone do a video a few months ago playing Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2 on like some like fan made GameCube server, and there's still some people playing the game.
Yep.
It's a good game, so shout out to them. But it was like maybe like 8 people. Hey, that's 8 people playing Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2 on GameCube.
Hey, that's enough
online.
to run dungeons.
I will say one of these days, I'm gonna buy that keyboard controller because I feel like it's gonna be one of the ultimate relics for a collection. Like it's just such a random thing that every time I mention it to someone, it's like, yeah, there was a GameCube keyboard controller. They're like, what?
Yeah.
And I pull it up and I show it to them. It's like a literal keyboard with just GameCube controller. They're like, no way, that's real. That's Photoshop. I'm like, no, this is real, bro. I swear. That's just a great relic there. Any last thoughts on the all digital future, the God of War thing, anything like that? I'm assuming are you just gonna get like the standard edition, or are you gonna pick up like collectors or anything?
I'm gonna have to look, like probably when it gets a little closer to time. I'll revisit the editions and look through them. As of now, I don't have plans for which one I'm getting.
Gotcha. Any other thoughts on anything else? We want to hop over something else.
No, I mean, I think I'm good. I mean, I do know a digital game that John will be picking up once it actually shows up in a shop in 2 weeks. Digimon Survive.
That's true.
Yeah.
I saw some early reviews on it. It's being reviewed very well right now.
Yeah, I read an article. Basically just talk like of they got to go in and I don't remember who the article was from, but they got to go in and see like a 10-minute demo of the game, like I think it was like in the middle of the game or something like that, of seeing some of the combat and some of the story stuff, but and saw some screenshots from it. I mean, looks good. I mean, I'm excited to play it when it comes out.
And you're getting on PS4, right?
More than likely, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm getting it on as well. That's what I'm leaning towards at the moment. I don't, it'd be kind of cool to get it for Switch, because it's a tax game, but I don't know. I'll probably just get it for PlayStation 4. So, all right, let's hop over from there, and we'll just chat about some random games now.
I need to push something if we're going into random games.
Okay.
In 2 weeks, open beta, Multiversus.
I did see that.
Well, you should have access to the early access here that's coming up Tuesday, since I sent you a code last time around. If you actually used it.
You sent it to me as well.
Yeah, I had 3 codes. I sent all 3 away.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tuesday's early access for anyone who signed up for early access or had played in the last early access, you should be good to go. After that, the next week, open beta. We get the Iron Giant in this time.
I did see
around.
Iron Giant was coming in, yeah.
His model is freaking stupid compared to everyone else's.
Yeah, it looked ridiculous.
And the fact that I'll be able to play Taz and just swallow him whole.
This game is wild.
It is the best team-ups ever.
So the first thing that I want to start off with, and I wanted to on this show give a chance to have the floor for this, because it sounds really cool, and I actually personally didn't know about it until you brought it to my attention. Zach, talk about a new game coming out, Marvel Snap, because you're currently in the alpha is what it is, right?
I don't remember if it's an alpha or just a closed testing of sorts, because I mean the servers have been running for a little while. Before I go into this, let me double check there wasn't an NDA.
Oh.
So don't screw me here, Alex.
Okay, all right. Well, other than that, John, what have you been playing? What's been going on in your world? I played a little bit of TFT earlier, had fun with that.
I've been playing a game that came out in the later stages of 2021. I was blanking on the name there. I think it's called Lost Realms or Lost Realm.
The one you've been playing?
Yeah.
Stolen Realm.
Stolen Realm. It's basically like a co-op dungeon crawl game, where there's 4 or 5 different initial classes to play. Might be 6. And then there's 7 or 8 skill trees for it, where you have your mage that can go fire, lightning, cold, ranger, thief, warrior and stuff like that. Where it's a fun co-op game where it's a hex based, the map is hex based where you go across it, and it's the thing that makes it kind of really interesting is it's kind of like a turn based game, but everybody goes at the same time. So it's instead of it being okay, this person goes first because they have the higher speed, everybody that you're playing with moves around and can attack at the exact same time. It's some people will want to go first because one of my buddies is playing a lightning wizard. So he puts stacks of shocked on him when he hits him, which increases the crit chance on him for every stack. So I'm playing the ranger class. So I let him do his thing first, stack up as much additional crit chance on the enemies first, and then I go in and I go ham after him. But everybody kind of goes at the same time, which is fun, and it's basically similar to the standard roguelite, choose your enemy or choose the map that you go across. You go into a mission, and then you have your starting point. And then after you do that battle, you can choose to go to another battle, a healing zone, or something like that. And then it's you get to the boss at the end, you beat him, and then you go back to town. And then you can buy upgrade, there's shops there, you can buy upgrades, craft your weapons and that, and then you go to the next mission.
See, I saw you playing this game, John, and I looked into it briefly. The ragdoll effects on it look hilarious.
The ragdolls are awesome. Yeah, the spell effects and the ragdolls are fantastic. When you kill an enemy, they just start flying across the screen. And same with when boxes or crates and stuff are destroyed on the map, they go flying off in the distance. That aspect of it makes it pretty funny as well. But the game itself is pretty fun, and it's great because when you level up, you get like 5 points to put in like strength, dexterity, vitality, and that like you do in standard games. But the skill trees, you're not locked to any skill tree. So like you could play like pick the barbarian class and go into wizard spells if you really wanted to. It's like the only thing that's different is like your starting stats for whatever class you pick. And then it's like you can customize all your skills as you go. So it's like if I wanted to, I could like be in the start as a ranger or something, or start as a wizard, dip into the ranger, like the shadow for different summons if I wanted to. So it's like going deeper into each skill tree is beneficial because you get much more powerful attacks, but you're not locked into it if you don't want to. Like I could be halfway into the ranger, halfway into the rogue, or like the thief if I wanted to. There's nothing stopping you from doing that except the amount of skill points you can get.
Okay.
But like I'm like 8 to 10 hours into it, something like that. And it's still a lot of fun. Really enjoying that game.
Okay, so it's not going to be like what you and Jared talked about and agreed last week that you'll play about 10 hours for a game and drop it. You'll keep going.
Well, yeah. Well, the other thing is, so it's like playing it co-op is a lot of fun because it's like co-op. I'm a real big fan of co-op games in general.
True.
And then because like going into it, having 4 people in there, like all kind of doing their own thing on the map, and like try to cooperate because the other thing is like there's like shrines and different things that you can do as well, and you kind of vote on who gets to activate it. So it's like we'll get in there. So it's like we were doing a mission earlier where there's a shrine. It's like increase your damage by 50%, but you lose 50% of your max health. So like it's like they voted for me to have that, and then we get into the map and like kill it, just like pretty much everything off except the boss. And one of my buddies who's playing more of like the typical tank role is like I'm trying to kite around and walk around where he can't get to me. Got a little careless, and he just like he's standing next to a guy who's like playing the tank role. That dude did not give a shit, and he just walked straight past him, come over and slap my ass across the screen. It's like yeah, I could do a shitload of damage. But as I told them, don't look at me too hard or I'm going to fall over.
See, this is why I need you on Baldur's Gate 3 with me.
See, well, that's the thing. That's why I love when games let you have those scenarios. Because it's like when I played Divinity Original Sin 2 with 2 of the same friends that I'm playing this game with. We were playing it, and I picked, like, I was playing, like, basically a fire witch or, like, a fire mage in that game. And I took, like, glass cannon. So you every round of combat you get maximum action points. So you can do a shitload of damage. But I also took the thing where like I could set spell effects on them, even if they had like their armor and magic armor still.
Mm-hmm.
But that meant that any like status conditions always affected me regardless of my magic armor.
Oof.
Or armor in general. So the entire gameplay there was I try to pop off at the start of combat. And then their job is to make sure that I'm never stunned, never feared, or anything like that. It was the co-op part of that was keep John able to do damage. If at any point in time he's not allowed to do damage, we're fucked.
So y'all just played a RPG of VIP.
Yeah, basically. The entire thing was every combat encounter was like set up where it was like protect John at all times, or else we're fucked because he's the nuker. And it's like I love when games kind of allow you to make decisions like that where it's like,
right
because it changes the entire way you approach the game,
right,
because it goes from like, okay, well, everybody kind of sets up that way. Every encounter we were in, it didn't matter if it was 2 enemies, a boss fight, like a group of enemies or anything. It was like, okay, it was like, okay, this guy has to be in range to cleanse me in case of this, and then he can't leave. He can't go too far away because he also has to be there to cast his cleansing spells and that in case something happened to me. And it's like that aspect of it where you can change the entire like focus of how combat encounters work. I love that.
Speaking of co-op, I saw that August 1st, I think, is like the Halo Infinite co-op like test flight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe. Yeah, maybe is right with how this game's been. Did you enjoy that video that I sent you involving Halo Infinite? All right, he didn't watch
He
it.
didn't watch it.
You sent me a video.
All right, so Marvel Snap, can you chat about it?
Yes.
Awesome.
So it's
Because I'm very excited to hear about
it's in a
this.
closed beta is what it is. Because so what Marvel Snap is, it is a Android and iOS game. It's a card game featuring, of course, the Marvel Universe, all that fun stuff. And the main basis of it is you build a 12-card deck, you take that deck and go up against someone else, and you have 6 turns to have the most points on 2 out of 3 bases. At the start of the game, it reveals a base, and each turn after, it reveals one of the other bases. And within 6 turns, you have to, as I said, have more points on 2 out of the 3 than your opponent. In standard card games, you gain energy each round to be able to play your cards. Each card has an energy and power cost. Cards have abilities. Bases have abilities. So it's a never-changing thing of build the deck you think that's going to work best for you to synergize, to then adapt to whatever the effects of the bases are for this time. Because it's a whole slew of database of different planets or places throughout the Marvel Universe. Out of like the 20 games or so I've played since getting access to it, I've encountered the same base maps a handful of times, but it's only ever one at the time. The other 2 are always different to me. So far I've yet to get like more than just one of the map I've already had before. And it's a very interesting thing of just how of looking at it versus other card games, because since it is just 6 turns, with the exception of one base, which causes you to have a 7th turn, of just number crunching almost, and taking effects into account of boosting, decreasing, and moving things and whatnot. And just like, because when you initially look at it, it's just like, okay, so I just try and overpower the other person. And then when you start seeing the other card effects and whatnot, it's going like, you can have quite a bit of strategy to this if you really want to deep dive into it and whatnot. And one thing that I'm starting to see, which I've actually sort of like from it in terms of collecting cards and whatnot for this, is they don't have packs or anything. More or less, as you get cards, you can evolve them, which just changes the card art to look fancier at a 3D effect. Maybe their models hanging outside of the edges of the frame of the card. You get collection XP, which rises. And once you get to a certain point, you get a card and it just says mystery card. It just goes, all right, you get a card, pull one out of the ether of the database, here you go. So, because I've started getting to a point where people are starting to have different cards and whatnot and everything like that. So, I mean, so far I'm having fun with it, and like versus other card games, which can usually take a while, since it's just straight 6 turns, a match is maybe 10 minutes at most.
Yeah, just super quick.
Yeah.
Another way that you described it to me when you were talking about the other day is it's kind of like Smash Up, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marvel Smash Up, essentially, as a mobile app. Is more or less what it is. Which, sounds dope. Is there like a projected release window? Because I know you just said it's closed beta. I imagine this year, but...
No. I mean, if anyone listening is interested and wants to sign up, you can go to marvelsnap.com and sign up for their email list. There is not currently a registration period right this moment, but by signing up on that list, they will email you when a registration point comes up, because they have not given any official release date when it's going to come out of closed beta or do an open beta at this time. It's just solely closed beta at this time.
Gotcha. Yeah, this one just slipped through my radar at some point. I didn't know this was ever a thing until you brought it to my attention the other day.
I'm going to be honest, I don't even remember how I found it, because like when I got
Makes
access to it, I registered for like almost 2 months ago.
Okay. You registered to a lot of stuff though, so that doesn't,
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, like Zach always gets like early access to everything because he registers to everything.
Oh no,
almost.
I got access to the technical test to Exoprimal, and I just completely missed that email.
Oh my god. You had your chance to find out what it was.
Yeah.
Damn it. No, Marvel Snap's gonna be on my radar. I've been looking for another new phone game, so that one sounds actually pretty dope, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't know this was a thing, but comparing it to Smash Up kind of gets my attention a little.
I mean,
bit.
That piques his interest.
that's what it is. You build a 12-unit deck to have more power on 2 of the 3 bases than your opponent.
Yeah, because when we used to play Smash Up a lot, I think I was the undisputed champion of that game.
Usually, you won 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, I think at one point like we played it a bunch, and I think I won like 19 out of 20 games.
And the worst part for anyone who knows what Smash Up is we had a house rule where we chose decks at random. We would just lay them out on the table, face down, and just mix them up. Which in Smash Up, you're supposed to just be able to pick your 2 factions. We house rolled it just random.
Yeah, because we had like every expansion for the game too. So
Yeah.
it's like just laying out the decks took like
It took 8 minutes.
It took like around 10 minutes just to like put them all face down and mix them up so that nobody knew what they actually were. But I don't know, that game just made sense to me.
Yeah.
It just clicked with John to a deep spiritual level.
And I mean, one aspect of it I'm forgetting, which is the whole snap aspect of it, is so it has a ranking system in which games you're playing for cosmic cubes. Every game, there's a minimum of 1 cube on the line. If you get to the final turn, it doubles it, so 2. If before you get to that turn, you retreat, you can get away with only losing 1 cube, but a mechanic in it is, as you're going through the game, if you feel like you're going to win, you can snap and double the amount of the cubes. So it goes from 1 to 2. Then if it gets around 6, it goes to 4. And if your opponent's like, oh, I can beat you, they can snap as well, making it 4. Then once you get to final round, it's now worth 8 cubes.
Damn, okay.
And more or less, that's how you get rankings, by collecting cubes.
Okay. Yeah, I signed up to the email list, so I'm gonna keep an eye on that one because it's there goes John. Okay. Yeah, because
MarvelSnap.com.
Yeah, no, because like I am a mega Marvel simp, so like I'm surprised that in some form or fashion this didn't come across my timeline at any point.
See,
so thank you for letting me know.
So with me playing it for a bit now, several amount of games. But the one thing that I'm curious about, because just about almost every card has an ability, with the exception of that I've shown so far is like the base cards you initially start with, and then a couple others. And I'm almost, because it's almost like, what's the reason to keep some of these base cards in without abilities, besides just like, there's the Thing who's a 4 cost with 6 power, and then Hulk who's a 6 cost with 11 power. And then Wasp, she's a 0 cost with 1 power, so she's just a free play. So I wonder if they're ever going to add in any mechanics to make those cards more accessible, or a reason to hold on to them besides just overall raw power. Because besides that, there's like one base I've seen that's just like, well, if your card doesn't have an ability, give it +3 power here. I was just like, I'm not going to build a deck around hoping I find you.
Right.
And the other thing is like, it's a phone game, people. It's got microtransactions. Since you can't buy boosters or anything like that, the thing that they're microtransacting is card variants, so changing the card arts. And each one of those is 750 of their in-game currency, and that's about $11 per card art.
So maybe like a skin in some games then.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was like, with skin games, it usually has visual effects and whatnot and everything like that. At least what I've seen so far from this is it's just a card art. So I'm like, do I want to spend $11 on card arts? And which, to be fair, the game does have some in the leveling progressions to give you free variants of it'll just choose a random variant card from a card in your collection. So I mean, you can get variants by just playing, but if like there's a very specific one, I was just like, would I spend $11 on that?
Right. Okay.
That does seem a bit steep for a
Card art.
Yeah, for just like the art for it, if it doesn't change much else than that. But I don't know. I've learned to judge most like the monetary value of skins based off of, I mean, League trained me well to know the value of a skin from looking at it.
League trained me well.
It's like anytime I go to look at buying a skin in a game, I have to compare it to what I would be getting in value from League, because that's what I know from
That was our base.
It's like that was the base I had for buying skins in a game for a long time.
Right. Also, shout out to that current event they got going, the Star Guardian, whatever. When I had stuff pulled up earlier.
Oh yeah, I haven't actually seen what's going on with that event.
See, I don't know anything about it. I just want to shout it out because, like, when I was on the menu earlier, when I finished up a TFT game, whatever, I just want to shout out that it has some banger music, which I know League does in general.
Yeah.
But that orchestra suite they have for the start, it is a banger. Definitely look that up. Just random shout out there. All right, so let's try about a couple other games real quick. Naraka Bladepoint, you checked that out?
Yeah.
How you liking it? How you enjoying
It's a martial arts BR.
There you go.
I mean, it's
I like the one thing that you told me about it is that when you get in a fight with someone, don't try to run, just commit.
Yeah, if someone jumps you in the Naraka Bladepoint, unless you have like some CC to knock them away or get your ass away, just commit to the fight.
Yeah, just commit to dying potentially.
I mean, so my big thing with Naraka Bladepoint is it's just a martial arts BR. It's your standard BR of people spawn in, you collect gear, circle gets smaller. If you see somebody, backstab them. If someone tries to backstab you, stab them in the front. But yeah, from what I discovered, unless you are really veteran and have learned what each of the weapons do and how to counter and whatnot, if you get caught, just commit to the fight. Because a lot of times, if you get jumped, it's more than one person you're fighting. If it's one person, you could probably escape. If it's their team, you're going to get juggled like a ball, and you're not even going to get a chance to try and run away, so you might as well just try and counter and hope you block them and get the chance to throw them away, because otherwise they're just going to keep hitting you, and you're just going to be like, fuck, fuck, fuck. In which they currently have a Fall Guys crossover event. You
showed me that.
You can get a small little Fall Guy dressed up like Viper Ning for his shoulder as an accessory. So.
Okay. Overall, been enjoying it though.
I mean, overall, yeah, it's been fun. It's definitely a different niche experience compared to most gun BRs of just instead of having, which they have ranged weapons, which is usable, but it's a bit different than a shooter because this is third person over the shoulder, and the ranged weapons can be used, but mostly everyone uses melee weapons.
Okay, fair enough. I checked out Century Age of Ashes. Completely forgot this game was a thing until I saw the news that, hey, it's about to come out to Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and PS5 because it's already on Steam and it's on Xbox Series. So I tried it out for Series, and like I was talking to Zach about the other day, the gameplay is very, very fun, but there's no chance this game survives. Zero chance. Even if you're adding in Xbox One and PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. I mean,
it's a niche genre.
It is a very niche genre. It took me like 2 minutes to find a game, 2-3 minutes to find a single quick match game. I mean, like I said, the gameplay is awesome. The gameplay was so much fun. The only thing that I would have liked to have in it as well, and I guess it's just because I'm a Star Fox fan, so like just playing this sort of situation reminds me. I would love the ability to riding your dragon, do like a barrel roll in the sky or something, because like you have like four gauges down on the bottom that can be used for your boost gauge, so maybe those could be used for like helping do like a roll out from if there's like another dragon rider behind you firing like fireballs or whatever their effect is. But I mean, it's a lot of fun. Gameplay is awesome. I mean, I'd recommend, it's free to play, so at the very least I'd recommend just downloading it just to simply like get to experience the gameplay for a couple rounds. But there's no way the game survives though, which sucks because like I said, they knocked out the park with the gameplay. It looked cool when it was revealed sometime like last year. I don't remember when, but I just don't see it surviving. But it is a lot of fun though. I will say they've knocked out the gameplay. I was having a blast playing it. But hopefully it'll get a little bit of a tiny boost with the other consoles, but it won't last. There's no chance. No chance. But
I mean, with those sort of air fight combat games, it's very much heavy on the community to keep it alive.
Yeah, no fucking joke about that.
Because, I mean, War Thunder's still going hard.
What the hell is that one?
That's a flight combat game focused in World War II.
Haven't heard of that one.
Oh, it's a free-to-play game, man.
I've played it before. I mean, It's all right because is War Thunder the one where you can play as the? I might be thinking of a different game. Is that the one where you can do plane or tank combat?
Yes.
Yeah, I've played that one. Like, I mean, the game's all right. I had some fun for a few rounds when I was playing it, but I don't know. I came from what are those called?
World of Tanks.
Yeah, World of Tanks, World of Warships, and that. And I don't know. I preferred my preference of those games was World of Warships.
Okay.
Because I don't know. That one made more sense to me. That game for some reason.
Hey, it's currently got a crossover with Transformers.
Does it?
Man, there's so many crossovers between games. It's like it feels like any of these like free to play games are like, you know what, we're gonna cross over with whatever we can to try to bring people over.
Yep.
Correct. I mean, World of Warships has had several crossovers with Azure Lane, the Battleship Girl simulator.
Oh my god. All right, let's hit the weekly wrap up. Let's get out of here. All right, first thing on the weekly wrap up. Kirby Dream Buffet was randomly announced this week.
That adorable sociopath looking up that cake.
So it's kind of like a Kirby Fall Guys in a way.
Yes.
Is essentially what it is. 4 players, though. It actually looks like a lot of fun. It's going to be one of those eShop games only, which they did the same thing with, what was it called? Kirby Fighters 2, I think is what it was. Came out last year.
Yes.
That was eShop only as well. But yeah, all they said was summer 2022, so it's got to be coming out soon.
You Kirby guys are weird.
You don't want to play Dream Buffet with us? Did you watch the trailer?
I've watched some of it.
Oh my god!
I don't need to watch an entire trailer to know if it's gonna interest me or not.
Oh, come on, man! Dream Buffet looks fun. I think it's gonna be a good time. We also did get the official release for Bayonetta 3. We're not big Bayonetta guys, so that's why it wasn't like a bigger talking point like it is probably for a lot of people. But we're just not huge Bayonetta guys. But did get the release date for October 28th. Yeah, we kind of figured it'd probably be in the October range anyway. Bayonetta 1 is getting a physical release, though, for Switch, so that's cool. Because it hasn't been physical release up to this point.
Well, you know what else is going to be in October?
Lots of things.
Which
one?
4th Dark Anthology game, The Devil in Me.
Yep.
It just says this fall, but they've released every single one on Halloween week.
Yep.
So I expect this one to release on Halloween week as well.
Yeah, I got a story trailer for that this week. I didn't even know that story trailer came out initially. I was just scrolling through and I just saw some sponsored post for the game, The Devil in Me for PS5. Sponsored for GameStop.
Yeah, I don't know how it didn't pop up for me.
Yeah, I got a story trailer for that. I mean, October is looking stacked. I mean, oh my god, because I mean, you have The Devil in Me probably in October from what you're saying. Bayonetta 3 now. We have Gotham Knights. We have Marvel Midnight Suns. I mean. Oh man, October's looking stacked right now. No wonder for Spoken had to get out of the way.
I said this last week, and it just keeps becoming more and more true. It was like what, like 2 months ago, we were like, man, end of the year is looking a little sparse.
And now everything's deciding on dates.
And now everybody's been like, oh yeah, you know how we said 2022? We meant October.
Yep, basically everything's in October right now. So, but yeah, shout out to Bayonetta 3. That long time in the making. That was that was year one of the Switch. Year one of the Switch, they revealed that game. So, long time in the making. Now it's just time to get Metroid Prime 4 news. Sooner or later. One thing to also note is that we are officially in Pokemon Leak season, boys. There's like a pretty large collection of stuff that's already kind of popped out. We'll chat about it at a later date because there's going to be more coming out. Because I know the current leaker, he was taking the weekend off apparently. He said he'll be back on Monday with more leaks, but lots of information already popping out. Lots of new evolutions for some older Mons, including one that I've already seen get leaked, like the actual form for it. There are some others that I've confirmed to have been leaked, but I haven't seen the new form yet. Some regional variants. Some of the regional variants are of Mons that I assumed was probably going to get one, like Tauros is getting a regional variant. I assume that strictly, like, it's like in these trailers, it's always like little niche things you got to look for. There was like that one random kid in a trailer who's wearing a Tauros shirt. Yeah. And it was like a little bit different design, and I saw that. I'm like, okay, that's probably a regional variant or something. I think the same thing happened with Sword and Shield. I have not seen any leaks for the fire starter, but I have seen leaks for the grass and water. I have seen some leaks for those. It's kind of rough leaks though. The Quaxley's evolution looks pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. It look, just on the little bit I've seen, it does look pretty sick.
I assume he gets a battleship.
Basically, yeah, he's like, yeah, more or less correct. Yeah. Apparently, one thing that I saw, but I don't remember if this one's like actually part of the leaks or not, is that he can like create like a water horse and ride it. I don't know if that's the case.
So Quaxley is Napoleon. Okay.
Basically, yeah. So
I thought it way back when, but I was like, nah, they're not gonna do that, right?
yeah, those types that I shout out like a few episodes back, that is true though. Grass Dark, Fire Ghost, and Water Fighting. That is the types there. The only other thing I want to shout out on this before we move on is the new battle mechanic. That one has been essentially leaked because it was like something. Originally it was like like riddled and hinted as like it's involving color theory. Figure it out from there. Just like the people who are in the know. Like not one to flat out reveal it. So essentially, what the new battle mechanic is, it's kind of interesting, but I feel like it's really lackluster compared to like what we've had with like Dynamaxing especially, or even like Megas from a few years ago. Is it's kind of like the gems, the type gems from Gen 5, where you can put it as your Pokemon's held item and give you like an additional stab, right? Because for the Pokemon, for any Pokemon fans that aren't like hard into the game, they play it very casually. Stab is, you're just going to get that bonus attack for same type move as the type of your Pokemon. That's all it is. So with this new mechanic, you can essentially like crystallize your Mon, right? And get an additional stab for another type move. So like a quick example, like, Pikachu, Pure Electric, Pikachu can learn Iron Tail. You have like whatever, I guess, gym, we'll just call it a gym, for Pikachu's item, he can basically get a steel type stab now with Iron Tail. But the thing is about the mechanic is that it does not activate until you use that type of move. So like in that situation, if you have like that steel type stab boost for Pikachu, but let's say you start the battle and do like quick attack and Thunderbolt or Volt, whatever, then the mechanic will never activate until you do that type of move. Then the mechanic will activate. Seems kind of weird. I feel like it's gonna be very interesting for competitive. Like, let's be real, that's gonna be very interesting how people are gonna have to prepare and build around teams for competitive, but just feels really lackluster compared to like what we had with Dynamaxing. The only other thing, I know I just said that was gonna be the only thing, but I do want to shout this out because this was very, 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 very disappointing to see. Is that, as we know, this game is supposed to be like fully open world, go wherever, right? Yeah. And that includes like for gyms as well, go wherever. The gyms do not scale, so that is very unfortunate. I was very afraid of that, but according to the people that are playing the game right now, the leaker, that the gyms do not scale with you. So I was really hoping it was, man, where you could like hit up any gym. It's just like, oh, you have this many badges. All right, I'll use Mons in this level range. Nope. You could stumble upon the 8th gym and walk in there with your level 7 Quaxley, and he's like, oh, well, here's my like level 80 something Mon. Have fun, kid.
See, I liked the idea you had said about level scaling the gyms, but I also really liked the idea of just kind of strolling around and stepping into a gym and go, yeah, let's. It's like, because it's really that's really like the fuck around and find out mentality.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, oh, hey, look, a gym. Let's go step inside there, get into the battle. Oh
no.
Did those leaks happen to mention anything how that works in terms of like you are actually running a full 4-person group and you all try and challenge the gym at once? Is like,
no, that wasn't mentioned.
Dang.
Yeah, no, it's a 4v1.
And honestly, if we're being real, that probably won't be mentioned because at this time, I would safely assume there's no online for the people that are playing this game currently.
Probably not.
Yeah, so if that's going to be a case, we'll find out later, sort of thing. There's no bike in the game, by the way. No bike.
Yeah, I can live with that.
You're going to be riding legendary Pokemon. Because, there was that joke where they look like, they look like bikes. Yeah, nope, you're going to get to ride them.
That's funny.
So we'll have fun with that. But no, we'll follow up on leak season. There's a lot of, the little bit that I just talked about is just scratching the surface for what's already been leaked, plus the more that's going to come out over time. Next up, real quick, we did get some new details on the new Skate game. Simply called just Skate, not be called Skate 4 or anything. It will be a live service game, free to play. It is coming to play, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC with cross-play progression. Microtransactions will apparently just focus on cosmetics and convenience. Still early in development. There was some people that were like very pissed off about this because it's EA, but then there's other people pointing out the facts where it's just like, all right, how many of you are actually going to buy a $70 skate game? It's just like, okay, yeah, fair point.
Yeah, this is actually exciting, I would say, because skate wasn't anything that I really played, but the idea of a new skate game sounds great. And if it was that $70 price tag, let's be honest, I'm not picking it up.
Yep.
This is a free to play game. It's like I'll at least hop into it because free to play skate game. Why wouldn't I jump into it just to at least test it out?
I was about to say, they said skate. I went, woo!
Yeah, it's like I'm not even a big skate fan, and I read the article saying like free to play skate game, and I went, fuck yeah.
I mean, and honestly, and with today's cycle of games and whatnot, as John was saying, and those people online, it's like skate's not necessarily a big thing that people are willing to pay a high price point on. So making it free to play and making it a live service, and I assume open hubs and whatnot, is probably ideal for this.
See, that's my take on it as well. It's like, look, guys, I get the concern because it's EA we're talking about. They're going to microtransaction the shit out of you. I get it. But, bro, I actually think this could be a really good thing for the game, just have a continuous ongoing skate game. You know what I mean? Because this game wasn't even supposed to happen. You know what I mean? Like, skate was dead in the water.
Yeah, it was pretty dead.
I mean, I feel like a live service game for skate is honestly really the best thing for the series. I really do.
Well, even kind of disregarding the live service factor, just the fact that it's going to be a free-to-play skate game, that's awesome.
Right.
Because, I mean, the live service stuff, it's like...
I have a bigger player base than they've ever had before.
It's like I'm trying to wrap my head around what a live service skate game means as far as what they'll be doing for updates and that.
Everyone finding the tallest point and jumping off to break a bones.
Oh, yeah. But it's like, I'm just... As far as, like... I was trying to wrap my head around, like, saying it's a live service game, what kind of updates they'll be continuously making to it.
I would assume like new skate parks, maybe some events here and there.
Yeah, it's like it'd be something like that. I'm wondering what kind of initially what we'll get, and then trying to picture like what crazy shit they'll come out with like 6 months in.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like I would probably agree with like skate parks and stuff, and maybe even like open up like parts of the city and stuff. More parts of like whatever area you're in, like just the city itself, not just a park, just to like skate around the city and be an asshole kid.
Yeah.
Because with it being live service, I assume it'll end up getting a decent following.
Yeah, I would too. With
it, and it'll be fun to see if they make some wacky fucking parks to skate around in.
Yes.
True. Next thing, little follow up from last week. Apparently, the Red Dead 2 next gen upgrade is confirmed to be dead. 44 million copies, just saying. But also shout out to the community for having a funeral on Red Dead Online. I thought that was pretty fun when I saw that. They had the funeral on the day of the last content update.
Yep.
I thought that was great.
Everyone gathered at two of the graveyards and drank beers.
Yep. I thought that was hilarious. And last thing for the weekly wrap up is just something to keep your eye on is Bandai Namco did get hacked recently. It's by the same company, or not, well, obviously not necessarily a company, same hacker group that hacked Capcom. They have hacked numerous others. And I will say I did get got. I got got by that picture. That was confirmed fake, unfortunately. That I was putting in the Discord the other day where I was super hyped about stuff.
Yeah, he was like messaging me, getting real hyped about some of the games that were in the picture.
I got because it was proved fake by one thing alone. The Tekken logo on there, that was a fan made logo. I didn't know that.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah. But I see the thing is though, like something like that I posted, like I'm just telling everyone, like keep your eye out for something like that because this same group, the one that's hacked Capcom, they're the reason why we knew Capcom's entire schedule for years to come. Because they, with the Bandai hack, they've basically hacked all main systems, which obviously is terrible. Especially in apparently to my understanding, there are certain countries where like even customer info was also hacked. Who a part of this. Obviously, that's absolutely terrible. Employee info and everything. So this isn't necessarily something to celebrate. It's just as gamers, keep your eye on this hack because we're potentially going to get some stuff in the pipeline just to find out what's going to be coming out. Because like the one that I saw, and I will say it could still be potentially true, and just someone made it up, like like just throw the logos together just for a simple, pretty picture. But like the actual date ranges could still be true because everything was dated out beginning with fiscal year 2023, so next year. And leading on, which would go from 2023 to 2024. So, I mean, it still technically could be true. I don't know. We'll see. Everyone's saying it's fake because it had the fan logo in it. But again, it could be someone just throwing the whole thing together just for the simplicity of like a picture. Here you go. Nice and simple. Had a lot of cool titles on there, but it seemed there was like, I noticed like a lot of Dragon Ball in just a single year because there's the Breakers, which that is fucking radio silent, whenever that's going to happen. Xenoverse 3 was at the very end. That was cool. And then Fighters Super, which I do think something like that would happen anyway. So I don't know. It's something to keep an eye on. We'll see what all kind of comes out of it.
The more exciting one that was on that picture, granted, like you said, might not happen, but at least something to be hopeful about, was the this Digimon Cyber Sleuth 2.
Yep.
That would be fun.
Yep. That one, and then I figured you'd be potentially excited about Tales of Ascension as well.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be excited about a new Tales game every time.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not going to completely discredit the list. I'm just going to discredit the image because, again, had fan. But, like, it would not shock me if, like, beginning of next year, let's say, like, we got the confirmed release of Breakers in their Q1, you know what I mean? Or in whatever the other game was. I don't remember what else they had in Q1. It was Breakers and something else. It would not... it was Armored Core, which brought some, like, question mark to some people. But I want to remind everyone that that based on, like, rumors, reports, and leaks, Armored Core is the new FromSoft game that they're working on right now. So, like, that's something that's already been in the news. So, like, if that ends up being accurate, like, I'm just saying, just keep an eye on this. Give it, like, 6 months. We'll see if Breakers and Armored Core is, like, Q1 of their fiscal year 2023, right? Then if that's the case, hey, this image could actually been true, and they just used fan images to just make it visually appealing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just keep an eye on it. If that's the case, then yeah, if this is true, we got some hype shit to look forward to. I mean, you got Tekken, we've got Digimon, we got Xenoverse 3, you got Tales. We got some hype shit to look forward to if this is true. I don't know. We'll see. I think that's it, though. I can't think of anything else. Boys, last thoughts on anything that we chatted about here today? Anything you want to shout out?
No, I ain't got nothing right now.
I got nothing.
All right. Well, I will hit the music, and we'll make our way out of here.
Like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever your platform allows. It does help. If you watch this on YouTube, you can hit that subscribe and help us build that community. You can also hit the bell to let you know whenever a video comes up. Thank you very much.
I'm glad you're back because I had to try to do that last week.
I passed it to him first. Yeah.
I had to try to do that last week, and it did not go that. I'm pretty sure I missed like half of that.
Yeah, like I was about to hit your button, and I was like, wait, he's not here. All right, John, you first.
But yeah, do everything he said and more. And if you made it to the end of the episode, thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you here next week.
And then, of course, make sure to check out some Rogue Energy. You can use our referral link down below, promo code SPARK3 to get 10% off your order. You get a starter kit, try it out. It's pretty awesome. We definitely recommend it. As well as check out our new sponsor, Swift Grips. Get the best grips in the game for sure. Pretty cheap entry point, in my opinion. Lots of different colors. Get it for Xbox or PlayStation. Use promo code Gamesthetic for 10% off. And then, of course, use our referral link down below for Red Dragon. If you need any new stuff for your computer, use promo code Gamesthetic there as well for 10%. Sign up to the website, sparky3.com. You can sign up for free. Sign up $5 a month. Sparky3shop.com. Pick up some merch. I do have some couple things that I'm working on for the merch store right now, actually. I'm revamping some of the stuff in the merch store. I started doing that the other night, so keep an eye out for the merch store. Definitely keep an eye out for that. Join the Discord, check out the other shows, and I think that's it. That's everything. So, yeah, until next time, guys. See ya.
Bye.